I am the Lord thy God, and I shall not have false gods ahead of me. Our Creator seems to be a bit of a jealous God. And as I thought over those words, I got to thinking about something happening in the news at this point between the President of the United States of America and the National Football League, which is all in a tizzy. They're all whipped up, frothing at the mouth. The President is not going to stand for these football players having the audacity, having the nerve to not stand and worship the flag of the United States of America. I gave this some thought. He's upset because these football players are kneeling for the flag, not standing. I don't know about you, but I come from a line of Catholics, my family. And to me, kneeling is the highest form of respect. I mean, in the Catholic Mass, at the most solemn moments, we kneel. We even have kneelers built in the church so we can do that. So I don't understand what all this frothing at the mouth and being upset about this particular event is of such great importance. I mean, there's earthquakes, there's tornadoes, there's hurricanes. We mention it in every video. If you haven't noticed, they're lined up, one right after the other. Some of them even come around and attack the second time. There's a message being sent to us. You see, this bit of determining a person's patriotism is their worship of a flag, a piece of cloth that really should be used during one of the hurricanes to bring safety and warmth to small, wet children. But no, it's sacred. I cannot help but think there's something wrong when we judge patriotism not by whether they serve fighting for our country, risk their life, or the patriotism of parents who allow their children to go off and fight in wars. And they're judged by whether they stand and salute the flag. Sorry. I just don't understand it. There are things of much greater importance. Do you think for one brief moment that a commie agent, sort of like James Bond, but he's off running for the other country, do you think he would sit or kneel during this of citizenship? No. Mass murders can stand and salute a flag. That's not patriotism. Sorry. It's a false flag of patriotic activity. Apparently he does not understand that our country has gone off the path. To be an American, you don't prove it by being white. You don't prove it by standing and saluting a flag. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not have false gods before me. There's just something very wrong about that. So, I can see why they do not want to salute this flag. Goes back to some very basic principles of what used to be America: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all citizens. It's certainly not that way. This is partly a racial problem, when black people seem to feel that the police profile them, seem to feel that the police are shooting them right and left, and the court in the front of the courthouse is a statue standing for justice. But if you look closely at that statue, brothers and sisters, you will notice that one eye is not covered by the blindfold. So the flag does not represent everybody. The flag doesn't show that we offer life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And the flag doesn't tell us that if they're black, we can shoot them dead, even if they're 12 years old, and we can say, I felt threatened. Yeah. No, brothers and sisters. There are things far more important than that flag. The God who created the universe doesn't give a damn about countries. Countries are not saved. Nowhere in the Bible does it mention the United States of America, except something starting with a B that will disappear one day. And everybody would say, oh, they were so great. How did this happen? It happened because the basic principles that were taught by this Creator, to love one another, were lost behind crowds of people at a football game when we should have been helping people that were down and out who'd lost their houses and were living in poverty with no electricity. My God, why does it happen? It happens because we are all weak in faith. And maybe the way to take that stand is to kneel, an act of high worship before that flag. And if they can't tell why you're doing it and what the reason is for these football players doing it, it's very sad. It kind of shows us that your mind looks at things from an Aryan perspective. Peace and good, if you will excuse me.